Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is being done live to tape. It's not what I was planning on recording and publishing this week. I'm going to postpone uh, that conversation on the Washington Naval Conference. I'm going to postpone that by a week each for the next couple episodes. As you're aware, this morning we woke up to the news that the United States has launched an undeclared war against Iran, and Iran is quite naturally retaliating. So again, this is live to tape. It's about 10:50 in the morning on Saturday, uh, the 28th of February, and yeah, there's definitely something to talk about. I'm gonna switch over to my web browser real quick. I'm currently on the Drudge Report right now, and there's a lot going on. Fortunately, let me click this first link. This gets us to AP News's live updates. One thing we know for sure, this all started around. Looks from what I can tell, it looks like this all started about 2 in the morning. So that timing, I do find that is very uh, well, not necessarily suspicious, but it makes sense that it starts at okay 1 in the morning Central Time. Um, if you're going to do it at something like this, which is not been approved by the full Congress, and you want to do it overnight on a Friday night, so yeah, so first explosions were heard around 1 in the morning. There's been the U.S. has joined up with the Israelis on this regarding the attacks, and Israel and Iran have uh, closed their airspaces. Some of the first Israeli strikes hit near Ayatollah Khamenei's offices. Ayatollah Khamenei is the supreme leader and the de facto ruler of Iran. Yes, Iran does have a president, but he's more of a ceremonial role, and de jure he's pretty much picked up by uh, the uh, uh, Ayatollah, and it is always a male because of their extreme adherence to Sharia law. Um, there have been claims, and this has been going on for the past week or so, that Trump administration is using Iran nuclear program to as an excuse for this, which makes me think that it didn't. The attacks last year didn't were not as successful. Trump has been asking, telling, and encouraging the citizens in Iran to pretty much overthrow the government. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, especially considering how much control the Ayatollah has. There's communications blackouts in Iran, so they're having issues with internet connectivity. That was as of 2 this morning. Um, yeah, and Trump is admitting that there could be casualties, which, again, I hope that does not happen. We can get this resolved quickly and without U.S. casualties, but unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case right now because there have been retaliatory attacks against Israel, and also scroll to it. It's up here. Yeah, please forgive me. I'm still trying to go through and process all this myself. Oh yes, here it is. So, the U.S. Fifth Fleet, which is the fleet command that is responsible for naval operations in the Middle East, their headquarters have been attacked. I'm not sure if there's any casualties at this stage, but it has been attacked. There is imagery on the internet showing that attack happening from a drone. I'm not going to show it as that's not necessary, and it's pretty easy to go and find that. Yes, so pretty much Qatar's getting and Kuwait have been reported explosions and attacks, as well as quite a bit against Dubai, which I am not shocked with, considering Dubai has recently become a major player in the Middle East. As you can Where is that? Yeah, as of 4:30 this morning Central Time, that looks there has been an Iranian missile attack and at least one fatality as of 4:30 this morning. Um, Qatar Airways is suspending flights. I suspect Etihad and Emirates has done the same, especially since Qatar and Dubai and Abu Dhabi have become the major international hubs due to their very well located positions there in the Middle East. I mean, seriously, if you're going to go anywhere long distance in Eurasia, Africa, Australia, having to connect through the Middle East is actually uh, very strategically located. Qatar's had a second round of attacks. Apparently, the Khamenei Ayatollah has not been made had a public appearance recently. Naturally, Nobel Peace Prize winning group, the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, has condemned these attacks. Uh, Crazy enough, Saudi Arabia is condemning these attacks, even though I'm sure secretly Mohammed bin Salman, the de facto and de jure head of Saudi Arabia, is secretly probably on the phone, been on the phone with Trump praising him. Um, let's see what else. It's just so much going on. Like I said, I'm still processing this. I just want to say that, um, yeah, say what's kind of on my mind. And yes, I can confirm Emirates has suspended some operations because of closure to UAE, and which is their major hub is there in Dubai. Naturally, the Iranians are flocking to supermarkets to stock up on stuff, which I am not surprised by. Looks like Jordan has been targeted, but they've been able to shoot down a couple of the Iranian missiles. Yeah, just so much going on that it looks. Oh, I did see that shipping operations in the Straits of Hormuz have been suspended, which is good because that limits potential of oil tankers being hit and causing environmental damage. Uh, the drones that are targeting have targeted Kuwait's main airport in Kuwait City. So that's just everything I see from the AP. Looks like we got a new update. See what that is. Yeah, yep. So on this map, there's a few of the areas that have been attacked uh, that we know of so far. Here's some images. Again, this is from apnews.com. So this is a photo from Tehran this morning. Showing the smoke. This is at Tel Aviv. Everything's empty there because they're having everyone shelter. Uh, that's an incoming projectile that exploded over the water in Haifa Bay, and it's in northern Israel. Folks rushing to shelter. This is another one from Tehran. More folks rushing to shelter. More from Tehran. Evacuation on a building hit in northern Israel. Folks sheltering in Tel Aviv. Um, More folks just trying to do daily life, but also heading to shelters. A lot of these looks like they're folks heading to shelter. Um, and of course, there's already protests going on globally. Looks like London, Berlin, Turkey, more Berlin, Armenia, London again, and this is in Pakistan. So, yeah. Uh, let's go back to Drudge real quick, since that's where I usually go to get my news first and foremost. And oh, this is interesting. Again, this is live to tape. These reactions are not scripted. Looks like this. This is interesting. Very interesting. It looks like the generals, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, as well as the combatant commanders, were um, yeah, advocating against the war, against a full-scale attack. Um, but Trump went and his probably still hungover Secretary of Defense, not War, Defense, Pete Hegseth, still went to war. So that is interesting that Trump is ignoring his general's advice, which I will say is very Hitler-esque. His Hitler, especially as his mental health deteriorated in 44, 45, as well as his physical health, as he is believed that he had developed Parkinson's toward the end of his life, was just doing whatever he thought was militarily expedient and ignoring the advice of his generals. So it's good to know that happened. I will say part of the attack um, on Iran, the initial attack, is unfortunately a school was hit in Minab, which Iran, and unfortunately there are 85 young ladies that will uh, be missed and not have a chance to make a better Iran. And my condolences to their family. Yes, like I said earlier, AP does have a full article about flight disruptions, especially since we do know that the Kuwait City's airport was hit and uh, Emirates has made air hub in Dubai is pretty much under closed air 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 closed airspace. Excuse me. Like I said, live to tape. Um, Now, does look like part of this attempted. This does look like it was an attempted decapitation strike, trying to knock out as many senior leaders in Iran as possible. It looks like there are a few sources coming out of Iran that are saying that the defense minister and the Revolutionary Guards commander have been killed. That's coming from uh, Israel and one regional source. I still like to get a couple more sources just to confirm that. Again, at this time, no one believes that the uh, Ayatollah has been killed. They believe that he is still alive. Um, so, unfortunately, this is not, like I said, not the video I was intending to make. This is more of a reaction to live ongoing things. Now, this is where I put on my historian hat, which really never goes off, and tell you that this actually it has been all avoidable, and it's been avoidable for well over 10 years. Um, so back at toward the end of the Obama administration, there was that famous Iran nuclear weapons deal that was made, I believe, in either 14 or 15. I did read the entire thing, and the United States actually got a lot out of Iran, and Iran actually ended up well on the losing end of the bargain. But they did agree to stop production of nuclear weapons, and they were in compliance with that when Donald Trump came into the White House the first time back in 2017. But Donald Trump, being a fucking idiot and listening to very hawkish folks, including John Bolton, pretty much just ripped the deal to shreds, got out of it, and without the United States being part of that, Iran was able to slowly restart their nuclear program. Um, Unfortunately, during the 4 years Biden was in power as president, I wish he would have gone back to the table and got that deal back in place and got it into a more safe spot where it wouldn't have been ripped up again, which would have slowed things down and potentially prevented this. But he did run into some issues as uh, and then Netanyahu was back in power in Israel and didn't want it, and Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia had come to power, and he secretly has been craving complete control of the Persian Gulf itself, and with that, that means a weakened Iran. So when uh, Kamala Harris did not win the presidency, this is what we got, because Trump has been very friendly with Netanyahu as well as Mohammed bin Salman, and uh, while Netanyahu started all this shit with Iran by launching strikes, this is the second time in the last year that Trump has joined the Israelis with a massive airstrike. This one, we're not sure how much longer it's going to go on. But we do know that Trump is also politically underwater with his approval weights. Everyone's seen those Harrington clips, so you know how animated he gets about that, and seen the numbers, which are really, really bad. Also, uh, he's losing grip of Congress. Speaker Johnson maybe has a one vote majority, but I expect that it should articles of impeachment for failing to get uh, a declaration of war from Congress go be presented on the House floor next week and go to a vote. Trump will be impeached for this, and as there are more than enough folks who are still MAGA pilled in Congress that do not want this war, and they know what's going to happen, and so they're going to break ranks with Trump and vote for impeachment. And I should say, in the House, in order to be impeached by the House, you need 50% plus one. So with 435 members of Congress, you only need 218 votes to impeach the president. Now it gets a little trickier when you go to the Senate. As this in the Senate, you do need a supermajority of 67 votes in order to convict an impeached president and remove them from office. And at this stage, I'm not sure if he had, with all the retirees coming up, there are enough votes to get to 67. But between the issues with the terrorists as well as this and just growing dissatisfaction amongst the American public, the Senate might actually be able to get just barely enough votes to convict, but that is a very, at this point, a long shot. As for the 25th Amendment being invoked over this by the cabinet, I do not see that happening. These guys are all Trump surrounded himself and his cabinet by pretty much all his people. Yes, they're pretty much all yes people. They're not going to sit down and impeach him. So again, it's up to us, the American public. If you do not like what's happening with this, please protest again on the 28th of March. So in 4 weeks, is the No Kings protest. I suspect is not only to see not just posters regarding our discontent with the terrorists and ICE. There are going to be a ton of posters talking about this whole Iran situation. I still hope that calmer heads will eventually convince President Trump and Netanyahu to calm down, take a break, try to renegotiate something. But at this stage, again, this has only been going on for about 10 hours Central Time, as it is now just after 11 o'clock. I do not suspect that anything's going to happen quickly. Um, Again, please, thoughts and prayers for the folks in the Middle East as well as for those who are in the armed forces of the nations involved. Please, let's hope that this comes to a quick resolution. Again, a bit of a downer and a bit more reaction video this week. I'll be back with the second part of the Washington Naval Conference series next week. So, um, yeah, please like, subscribe, share. Please be kind and respectful in the comments. And with that, let's hope this comes to a quick resolution, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.